you've definitely come up to the next level, especially in the last 2 seasons. You won the UCI Americas Tour in 2007. I don't think anybody, maybe even yourself, could have predicted the season that you had last year. I mean, these are some of the results that pop into my mind right away. 7th at the Olympic time trial, 3rd overall at the Tour of Missouri, and then 2nd at the World Time Trial Championship that involved a bike change onto a road bike with how much, 6K remaining?
It was in that range. I think it was more closer to 4K, but yeah.
So looking back on 2008, what made that such a good year for you?
I think a big part of it is I was able to really focus on those goals in the latter part of the season, and I knew with the Olympics, I knew I had a shot of going. So I said, well, with our team situation, I'm going to really just focus on what I believe I'm capable of doing. So I put everything into that, and I was very happy with the Olympics. I left, like, I remember going home thinking I might just take the rest of the summer off. It's been a good season, I'm really content with this. Like, all that work up to that point is like, I was home for 2 days. I'm like, no, I'll do Missouri. And that Missouri just kind of showed to me that, okay, you still have it. Carry on to Worlds with that form and give it everything. So, yeah. But I think too, just as the development as a cyclist, like, really I started late. I was 23, 24 when I started. So for me, I feel like I'm just coming into like my best years. And
how old are you now?
31. So as far as, I know a lot of guys, it takes, close to 8 to 10 years to really get it dialed in. And I just feel like the last few years, that's how it's been for me. I've been really getting dialed in, but also a lot more focused and committed to the sport. And I think that's why it's paid off.
I want to talk a little bit about 2009. I was talking to team director Matt White about the team's goals for next year. And obviously the Giro d'Italia and the Tour de France are the highest on the list. And he sort of lumped you in a category that he lumped Eddie Pate in last year. A rider everyone knows has a huge engine, never raced a Grand Tour, and they're going to put you in the Giro with an eye on the Tour as well.
Yeah.
We also talked about Paris-Roubaix.
Yeah.
So, you're going to be tested at some of the most prestigious and hardest events in pro cycling. We saw you win the U.S. Open in Virginia in 2007 on a snowy April day on a course that had cobbles. Everybody said it was a day that the strongest man won, and you won.
Yeah.
Confidence into this is a multi-pronged question, but does that give you confidence into the cobbles, and what are your thoughts about possibly doing 2 Grand Tours having done none?
Well, I think it's just a huge thing, and it's exciting to look at that sheet, but I know there's like a huge road ahead of me and a lot of tests, and I feel like I'm kind of an unproven rider in that sense of, in Europe and the battle in the classics and all those different types of races. I think my abilities as far as a teammate will be proven very well there. I think, the Grand Tours, it's hard to say. I mean, I can't really quantify it just yet. I know, I've done a couple 14-day tours, and I know my body handles that well. So, I've had some of my best days in the latter days of those longer tours. So I think, I'm well equipped, and really it's more of a just let's see what happens kind of scenario. And yeah, I'm really excited to have the opportunity to be in those races.
All right, one last question. As long as I've known you, you've always been an extremely laid back, just chill guy. Do you ever get worked up? I'm trying to imagine a scenario where Svein Tuft loses his cool and I'm coming up blank.
I don't know. It's not really my thing. I can't really get that mad. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I've never flipped out, or not that I can remember. I mean, maybe it happens, but I don't think I've ever yelled at anyone before.
But so let's put you in a scenario then where it's a Tour of Flanders and you're coming into the first cobbled section and everyone starts elbowing. You got it in you to throw the elbows right back. I mean, you've done ultimate fighting, so at the same time.
Yeah. No, there's a certain point, like if you're being taken advantage of, you have to fight back, and it's just like, that comes with racing. In racing, you almost have to turn a switch, and it just, when you're out there, it becomes different. But you're not throwing blows at anyone. You're not trying to harm anyone. It's just sometimes guys are doing crazy things to get what they perceive ahead of the game, and I've never been a fan of that, and I don't try and do that myself. But I understand the game, and I know that's what it takes, and so you got to be willing to, give a little bit of it back. But I've never wanted to hurt anyone in my life. So.
And what about, when was the last time you did some actual ultimate fighting?
Well, I really toned that down. My problem was in the winter I did so much, and it was just such a huge part of I love it, and
You told me you were putting on upper body weight.
Yeah, it was so hard to take off, because my body really, my upper body really wants to grow, and as soon as I start wrestling and everything else, it's a lot of extra work to bring off in the season, and that's just not part of my thing right now. There's plenty of time to do that after, and so yeah.
Well, Svein, appreciate the time. It was
Thank
really
you.
psyched to hear you join the team, because this is
Thanks,
a team,
man.
it's a local team, and it's a team that I like, and I've always liked you a lot as a rider, so it's a good marriage, and we'll look forward to seeing you out on the roads.
Thanks, man.
Appreciate it.